You are welcome back. The principles of design are the guidelines or rules that govern how design elements are used in combination. See the principles of design as the application of the elements of design, how we use them, how we make them go together, how we apply color and typography, the rules that guide the implementation of the design elements. For the purpose of this course, we will be looking at 7 different principles of design. There are more if you search online, but we'll be focusing more on these 7. Balance, contrast, emphasis, proportion, repetition, movement, and white space. Balance in design is like the way things are evenly spread out on a seesaw or a scale. There are 2 main types of balance: the symmetric balance and the asymmetric balance. Symmetric balance is like a mirror image. If you draw an imaginary line at the center of a design, both sides should look similar. While for asymmetrical balance, it is more like balancing a big rock on one side of the seesaw and several smaller rocks on the other side. Even though they are different, the design still feels balanced because the visual weight is distributed evenly. The second principle of design that we'll be considering is contrast. Contrast in design is like making things stand out by making them different. Imagine you are looking at a big sheet of white paper and you draw a dark line on it. That black line is easy to see because it is so different from the white background. In design, contrast means using differences to create visual interest. The third principle of design is emphasis. Emphasis in design is all about making something in a picture or design stand out and catch your attention. It's like when you are in a big crowd of people and one person is wearing bright, colorful clothes, they immediately grab your attention. That is what we refer to as emphasis. The fourth principle is proportion. Proportion and scale in design are all about the size and relationship between things in a picture or design, just like how big or small things are in real life. Imagine if you had a tiny toy car and a huge toy building. The size difference between them is about proportion and scale. In design, proportion and scale help determine the size of different elements in a way that makes sense and looks good. The fifth principle of design is repetition. In design, rhythm and repetition mean using the same shapes, color, or other elements over and over in a planned way. Imagine a row of identical chairs at a party. That repetition creates a rhythm. In design, repeating elements can help guide the viewer's eyes through the design and make it more visually interesting. The sixth principle of design that we'll be considering for the purpose of this course is movement. In design, movement refers to the visual flow or sense of motion created within a composition. While design itself is static, the placement, arrangement, and relationship between elements can imply a dynamic quality, guiding the viewer's eyes through the visual experience. The last but not the least principle of design that we'll be considering in this course is white space, and it is also called negative space. White space is like the empty space around the words in a book or the space between the furniture in a room. In design, it's an area without text, images, or other elements. White space is essential in design because it gives breathing room to a design. Imagine a room that is filled up with furniture and there is no way for you to place your leg. And imagine that same room that is well arranged. So the empty space in that room is what we refer to as white space. It is the empty space in your design. It does not necessarily have to be white, but the space in between text and object, that is what we refer to as white space. Now that you understand the basic elements of design and the basic principles of design, it is time to get to work. But before we get to work, I would love to explain more the color theory and typography, because they are very essential when it comes to design. So in our next video, we will be looking at color theory. Did you learn anything from this video? There is more to come. You can go through the previous videos, and for more videos, subscribe and put on the notification bell so that you will not miss out. See you in the next video.